Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware. I'm Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson. I'm the spiritual director. And I just am so grateful that you joined us this morning as we gather together in community and as we gather together to remember who we are. So let's do that now, okay? So just repeat after me. I am that I am.
I am that I am.
Beloved God presence that I am.
Beloved God presence that I am.
Is moving through me and as me.
Is moving through me and as me.
I invoke the divine presence.
I invoke the divine presence.
To fill every cell of my body with light.
To fill every cell of my body with light.
To surround me with a pillar of light.
To surround me with a pillar of light.
To fill all of my affairs with light.
To fill all of my affairs with light.
I allow the pure light and love of the divine.
I allow the pure light and love of the divine.
To flow from me.
To flow from me.
And move me.
And move me.
To be of highest service to all life.
To be highest service to all life.
I joyfully bring love and light.
I joyfully bring love and light.
To all who enter my field of awareness.
To fill all of my field with awareness.
To all who enter my field of awareness.
To all who enter my field of awareness.
Knowing that my light
contributes
to the enlightenment of all.
Contributes to the enlightenment of
so
all.
Let's accept it together with a powerful and so it is. Yes. All right, my friends. So now I'm going to introduce to you Deb, our musician, a glorious musician.
Thank you, Reverend Kathleen. Thank you, Peggy. Wow, that was a really good visioning meditation. Thank you. Oh, somebody's honking their horn outside, sorry. So it's springtime on this rainy day, and springtime is a time of rebirth. So I want to sing this song I wrote about us giving birth to our new world. As we give birth to our new earth, first we see her with our mind. She is bountiful, she is wondrous, all forgiving and kind. And as we listen to her silence, we know exactly how to give. So the best and the highest of everyone shall live to see the day we all can thrive, live to feel what it means to be fully alive, live to hear the sounds of peace in a world that was born to be free, a world that was born from you and me. So we give thanks for this new earth. From the ashes she will rise. As we breathe with her, we receive with her all the blessings of the skies. And with our loving hands and grateful hearts, we replenish every need. And with equal care and tenderness, we nurture every seed, so it can live to see the day we all can thrive. Live to feel what it means to be fully alive. Live to hear the sounds of peace in a world that was born to be free. A world that was born from you and me. We hold the power in our hearts to make see the day we all can thrive. Live to feel what it means to be fully alive. Live to hear the sounds of peace in a world that was born to be free. A world that was born from you and me. Let's make heaven on earth our greatest legacy. Thank you. Have a beautiful service, and I'd love to bring back Peggy.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Delaware. For those who don't know me, I am Peggy Freimoyer, your platform practitioner for this morning's service. Would you please close your eyes, turn within, and join me in prayer as I say this evocation. God is all there is. God is whole, perfect, and complete. God is unity, oneness, and unified field. God is unconditional love. God is limitless good. As God is all of these qualities and more, each one of us is all of the God qualities and more. Each one of us is whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are. Each one of us is unity and oneness. Each one of us is unconditional love and limitless good. Each one of us is all of these things in each and every second of each day. Each one of us is interconnected. We all share the oneness of life. In so doing, we are all brothers and sisters of the Most High. We are each powerful co-creators with the divine, and we are each here to be the agents of transformation, disseminating, spreading the divine as love and compassion. We are each open to possibilities, to new possibilities, to transformation, to self-transformation. For each of us is an expansion of consciousness into the realization of our true selves. The process is never ending. As our trust in the process grows, we grow. Our growth goes on forever. God is infinite. And as we are all interconnected in this service, in our faith, in our trusting of our divine inner selves, I give thanks to each and every one of us who heard the call to be at this service, and to all who are here in spirit. Each one of us makes up the backbone of the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware. I also give thanks for each and every one of us who gives time in service to all of the activities that keep CSL Delaware running. I give thanks to Reverend Kathleen for all that she does to organize the service and the center. I give thanks to all who make the Center for Spiritual Living one. I give thanks for this truth and for all the things that make up our CSL Delaware service today, and for all the truth, unconditional love, compassion, unity, wholeness, and oneness that brings us together to make this service so. And so it is.
Yay.
And now I pass this on to Tom.
Thank you, Peggy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Clark. I'm your host for today. If you're joining us by Zoom for the first time, please let me know through the chat so I can personally welcome you and assist you with signing up for our newsletter. Sharon Bousquet will connect with those of you joining us for the first time on Facebook. Please read with me the intention statement. We, the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware, are an inclusive, welcoming, vibrant, ever-expanding spiritual community rooted in new thought, ancient wisdom principles. We are here to be the presence of love, co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for all. The Young Spiritual Masters Children's Program met today, and Shia is here today to share in today's lesson. Hello, Shia. Guess we can.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Good morning. I was just doing some last minute things because I'm really excited to share with everybody about some things from our wonderful group this morning. Our theme this morning was saying yes. So we talked about feelings and how to pay attention to our feelings and really, paying attention in a way of like, what are we going to say yes to? What kind of feelings are we going to say yes to? And then we also talked about, what do we think about that we want to say yes to? And what do we dream about that we want to say yes to? So I am going to share a little bit of their sharing after we did some drawing about what we wanted to say yes to. Give me 1 second so I can do this correctly. And these are my friends, Jalen and Anastasia. And this is just a little bit of their sharing today.
That right up there.
Making sun.
The sun helps the flowers grow, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay.
And this is a green dot, and this is a blue dot, and then this is a pink cloud.
So what are you saying yes to in this picture?
Look, Mommy.
The snowflakes?
Oh,
you
I know
love
that.
snow. Okay.
So I just wanted to share that with you. That was what they wanted to say yes to. And of course, Jalen was sharing her spring flowers, and Anastasia she was just full of lots of things to say yes to. But she loves the snow, so she really went for that. And she made a little door. And I asked her, where's the door go? And she's like, the North Pole, of course. So thank you for everybody who joined me today. I really look forward to seeing lots more children join us at the end of the month. And we have a newsletter that goes out every week other than when we're on Zoom. So if you're not getting that and you do want to get that, please just be in touch with really anybody. My email address is shiastone, SHIYASTONE @gmail.com. So thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.
That's wonderful, Shia. Thank you so much. I have a question for you, Shia.
Of course you do, Tom.
Since we're getting close to Easter here, what do you call a line of rabbits jumping backwards?
Like I might need to see a doctor, maybe.
A
Get my vision checked.
A receding hairline. Thank you for everything you're doing with the children.
Thank you for everything you're doing for our hearts, Tom. We love you.
Love you too. Join us virtually on Good Friday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. To chant the Lord's Prayer or Our Father as it was originally introduced by Jesus in Aramaic, leading the singing with Reverend Ute Maria Sadia. Lyrics will be screen shared, and Michelle will also post the meeting ID in the chat box. Also, it's posted in the weekly newsletter. The next CSL Delaware Teen Group meets April 4th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. by Zoom, facilitated by Reverend Bill Marchoni, using CSL shops for teens. All teens are invited. Participation is free. However, all attendees must pre-register. Details on our website and in the newsletter. Loosen the grip of the ego. Embrace your relationship with God. Deepen your trust in the awakening journey to truth. Class based on the book of the Untethered Soul. It meets eight Thursdays, 6:30 to 9:30, April 22nd through June 10th. And facilitated by our very own Marianne Ruan. Weather permitting, Brett Taylor is leading the hike today, which has been canceled and rescheduled for the last Sunday of the month, which is April 25th. Next Sunday, April 11th, Dr. Judy Morley will be our speaker and then lead the CSL Delaware Spark Leadership Development from 12 to 4 p.m. It is essential that all leaders, staff, and practitioners attend for the next leap in consciousness to fulfill the CSL Delaware vision. For details and Zoom links on our activities, visit the CSL Delaware website under the Get Involved tab or the CSL Delaware newsletter in your email. And now I'd like to bring Deb back, who is going to sing God is Real.
Yeah,
Thank you, Deb.
and so are those jokes. I'm still recovering from that one. It's going to take a little while. Let's all sing this song together. I know it says I start the song, but if you know it, I hope you sing along at home. We sing this song of jubilation because our hearts have been set free. The gift of God is alive within us. The joy, the peace, the majesty. We're learning to love, to learn how to live. For within the Spirit, love is all there is. So pure in heart, in God we dwell. With gift of vision, we now can tell that God is real, God is magnificent, God is light. God is love, God is real, God is magnificent, God is light, God is love. I am real, I am magnificent, I am light, I am love. I am light, I am love, and you are real, you are magnificent, you are light, you are love, you are real, you are magnificent, you are light, you are love. We are light, we are love, we are real, we are magnificent, we are light, we are love. God is magnificent. God is light. God is love. God is real. God is magnificent. God is light. God is love. Thank you. Oh, I'd love to bring on a bubble of light, Jenny Stewart. Look at her, look at her, look at her go.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Delaware. Welcome. And my name is Jenny Stewart, for those of you who don't know me. The theme for March 2021 is Open to Possibilities. And the topic for today is Commit to Transformation. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith tells us, visioning is always for self-transformation. It's always to shift our perception of reality. And this process goes on forever. We just become bigger and bigger places for it to express through. Reverend Michael Beckwith wrote in Life Visioning, page 17, the purpose of visioning is not simply about the narrow confines of personal fulfillment. It is an expansion of consciousness into the realization of your true self. Let us reflect on this affirmation of truth as we say it together. I relax and behold God's grace unfolding as my life. And now I send this back to our beloved, beautiful, radiant, the ultimate possibilitarian, Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson.
Hey, Jenny, it takes one to know one. All right. So I have a question for you. Why doesn't Superwoman need a boss? Anybody? Michelle?
Why?
Because she already has supervision. All right. So do you and I, my friends. Yes, this is the last week where I'll be offering you some puns related to visioning. But you and I we have supervision. Why? We actually have super hearing and all of that as well, because the spiritual faculties of vision, hearing, and those other sensations that we feel in this time-space reality are sourced in the essence of who we are, which is an individualization of God. So that is why we can see with the inner eye and hear with the inner ear possibilities that have not even been made manifest at this point in time. So this month we are focusing on the spiritual practice of visioning. And I trust that this is something you will continue with for the rest of your life, because it is such a powerful spiritual practice. I know those of you who tuned in before service with Peggy experienced this thing called visioning. And it's important for us to understand what this whole thing is all about. And you got some tastes of this throughout the month, and those two quotes by Reverend Michael Beckwith that helped you tune into realizing that it's really all about self-transformation. So it's about self-transformation. It's about learning and cultivating that ability to see beyond this time-space reality into the field of all possibilities, and also to embrace and embody who we are in truth. And here's the thing, is that you know, another name for God, I think that would be very appropriate would be original artist. And I think it's important to think of the divine in that way, you know, the original artist, the mastermind or creative master behind the universe, and to realize we are made in the likeness and image of that one. So we are original artists in our own lives. And the more we realize that, and the more we accept our divinity, the more we're able to really dive into the visioning process and open up to these ideas that might come to us, that our human mind will tell us, or conditioned mind might tell us, oh, that's impossible. But when we live from a place of knowing that all things are possible in God, that means as we know ourselves to be in partnership with the infinite, and actually to be an extension, an expression of the infinite. In fact, it's like God's presence concentrated right here where we are as our very own being. The inspiration that comes from that field of all possibilities and potentialities, and the all universal law, all of it. Because our eyes and our five senses see us as these separate little beings over here in this big universe, we sometimes can easily forget that. So that's why the visioning process puts us back in touch with that over and over and over again. It reminds us of who we are in truth, and it allows us to enter into being the original artist of our lives, and our, not only individually, but collectively. In fact, a beautiful collective thing that's going on the grander scale of Centers for Spiritual Living, they have a visioning team that meets regularly and has for quite a long time, and catches the highest vision. This is one statement that came through their global vision. It says, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his or her highest spiritual principle. That means our highest selves, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively, and here's the statement I want you to listen to, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. That's the call of Centers for Spiritual Living. That's actually the call of spirit. They caught that from the mind of God. We are all being called to an ever higher state of consciousness. And that consciousness, what is it? It's unity with the divine. It's oneness consciousness. It's God consciousness. It's Christ consciousness. It is Buddha consciousness, whatever you call it. It's that state of unity and understanding who we are in truth, and then moving that into action in our world. The practice of visioning then helps us hone and strengthen and listen to and accept that call to higher consciousness and action. So today I'm going to be talking about how this, you know, these different aspects of this thing called visioning. One is aligning with our divine purpose. The second is the hose analogy. And the last is willingness and commitment. So this thing called alignment with our divine purpose, I go back to what is the nature of God, the nature of the one presence, love intelligence. So that is our nature. So that, and God distributes that love, and it becomes creation, you know, uses that love, turns it into form. You know, everything here is a thought form. It's a form of thought in the mind of God. And so when we understand that's the ultimate purpose of the divine, that's our ultimate purpose as well. We are distributors of love. We're distributors of love. And that can sound like kind of nebulous, but it means putting that energy of love into everything we do and everything that we create. It's coming from that place. What would I love to do? What would I love to create? And so we are all distributors of love in our own unique way. We are all original artists, right? Co-creating this amazing experience called human life on this planet. So our challenges then become the catalysts of rockets of desire. Rockets of desire. What would we love things to be like? I mean, if we remember that's the context, when something comes up that's not quite what we want, we can just say, okay, so what would I love? What would I love? And so love is the power that sets the creative process in motion. And, you know, fear does too, but we're not going to, that's not where we're going with this. It sets the creative process in motion, and universal law then is activated and brings that into manifestation. So there's love and there's law. And Ernest Holmes emphasizes that over and over again. And the thing is we cannot solve a problem or a challenge from the same level of consciousness that created it. So what must we do? We must evolve in consciousness. That's what visioning is all about. It's about evolution of consciousness. So we must align with our purpose, which is love, and rise into a higher state of alignment, of living in those vibrational frequencies of love and gratitude and peace and joy and all of those things that support us in being the instruments of the divine. So grand artistry and evolution of consciousness. You know, it's Women's History Month. So I of course thought of a woman, that one of the women that I greatly admire, and her name is Lynn Twist. Someone who I see as someone truly aligned with this, this idea of love, divine love, and what can I do? What would I love to do? What can I do that can make a difference on the planet? She loved the planet. She loved the planet. And so she formed a partnership. She co-founded the Pachamama Alliance. Many of you have heard that already. Focused on doing things with other countries, and particularly South America. She aligned with a lot of the people there to do things that would make our world more sustainable. And rather than go into details of that, I think I'll leave that there. But she also became very focused on ending world hunger and became part of the Hunger Project, and then went on to form another organization. She founded the Soul of Money Institute that provides small business loans to people in third world countries to help them start their own businesses and to give them all of the training that they need. So her vision kept evolving over the years, her 40-year career. She kept moving, I am absolutely sure, into higher and higher states of consciousness as she began to see what was needed on the planet, and then what it was that she could bring to support those changes. And she writes, I have discovered in almost every arena where I have worked, whether it's ending hunger, eradicating poverty, working on peace, or stopping violence, and even environmental sustainability, the key intervention has been the empowerment of women and girls. This has been a huge and important revelation, the expansion of her own vision. It has given my life and the life of every woman that I know and touch tremendous meaning. We live at a time when the voices of women and girls, which represent love, intuition, and compassion, are the critical factor needed and wanted in the world today. It has been a privilege to work with women of the Amazon, women living in poverty and oppression and war in Africa, women living under harsh Islamic rule in the Middle East, and women considered property and chattel in India. When women find their voice, everything changes. And so what she talks about is educating women and giving women small business loans and teaching them how to catch a vision, and gain the skills that they need, actually has a powerful cause and effect to eliminating poverty, supporting sustainable environment, because of the farming, the sustainable farming skills that they use, alleviating hunger and stopping violence. Simply by educating and giving some attention, empowering women to find ways to support themselves and to support their communities. It all begins with vision, with seeing possibility beyond what, the same old way of being. And it all depends on this energy called love. What would I love to do? Our ultimate purpose. Let's move on to the hose analogy. This is a good one. This is one I heard a long time ago. It's probably one of the first analogies that I heard. I can remember Reverend Bruce Ginther offering this years ago. This was back in the 1990s, but it's so powerful in explaining how things work. So, it's the springtime. And it's time fairly soon, not today, of course, but it's fairly soon to hook up the hose outdoors, to turn on the faucet and water our flowers. This analogy is so powerful because it describes who we are and how we function. We are like the hose. When it's clear, the water, you turn on the water flows, that water being the ever-givingness of spirit, love itself, pours through us and as us. But what happens if the hose gets twisted? It cuts it off the flow, right? Or if we put our foot on it, if we're standing on it, this is the old-fashioned hoses that were very collapsible. If we put our foot on it, or if there's a rock on it or something, there's no flow. So our work then is removing our foot from the hose and finding places where we can untwist it and get it back into perfect working order. I love that analogy because it just reminds me what my work is, which is just removing the obstacles of false belief from my consciousness. And at the same time, it's a reminder to embrace who I am in truth, that conduit, that vehicle, that vessel of the Most High, and also the Most High itself individualized. Because the vision, the highest vision of our lives is already perfect in the mind of God, our work then is to just simply do that work of self-transformation, of removing the erroneous beliefs and embracing who we are in order for the vision to just show up. And of course, we listen to guidance, we take action according to guidance, but that's the essence of it. It's about becoming a vibrational match to the vision. So the process is evolutionary. As Jenny, that beautiful quote that Jenny just read a little while ago, we become bigger and bigger and bigger places in consciousness through which broader and broader visions, like what happened with Lynn Twist, become manifest. Okay, so the next one, willingness and commitment. Reverend Michael says, where there is willingness, there is a way. And where there is willfulness, there is a wall. What does willfulness mean? Willfulness is that resistance that we feel to the process of self-transformation. It's our resistance to acknowledging and recognizing who we are. It's that resistance to self-sabotage, the things that we do to self-sabotage. So I'm going to read that again. Where there is willingness, there's a way. Where there is willfulness, there's a wall. That wall is the structure of our false beliefs. It's otherwise known as the ego or the conditioned mind. So in order to do that, we know, I mean, we've learned so many different techniques, haven't we, of clearing out false beliefs. We've learned tapping, we've learned spiritual mind treatment, we've learned, I know the Byron Katie technique is really powerful. We could go on and on and on with all the different things that we've learned. But here's the part that's really important: willingness and commitment. The willingness to be aware of what's going through our minds, how we're feeling, and the commitment to saying, no, that's not the truth. When you hear a thought that's, in your mind that's not empowering, that's actually depleting, it's saying no to that, and then replacing it with the truth. I mean, that's the essence of it, right? And so that feeling nature that we have lets us know when we're getting off track. Commitment. I want to share with you a story from the World Vision website. This is something different from Lynn Twist, but it's just so exciting to see that there are more and more organizations that are seeing the importance of empowering women across the planet. And this particular one is, there are actually multiple stories on this website of women who were transformed in how they saw themselves and transformed in and embracing the possibilities in their lives and realizing their visions. This is a story about Irene from the African country of Malawi. She was forced to drop out of school at age 12 after her father died to help support the family. And then she married at age 19. And then 5 children later, she found that she and her husband had nothing to feed the children. And so through the training that she received, provided by World Vision, she began to see some new possibilities for her life. She began to see herself in a new way. And this is what she said. She said that she let go of her limited idea of herself and embraced God's love as the energy that empowered her to take responsibility for herself, her marriage, her family, and her community. Irene then learned new ways to farm. I'm sure it was sustainable farming through these different organizations. And she joined with other farmers to turn subsistence farming into a real business. The community elected Irene to be the leader of the farmer groups. There were 5 different farmer groups. And there were 150 people who were all farming together in those various farm groups. So she was elected to be the leader of this. So this is one of the many stories of how important this thing called seeing the truth about ourselves and living in vision, what that can mean for our lives. So are you willing to transform? Are you willing to commit to transformation, not just occasionally or even just once a day, but on an ongoing basis, to be willing to watch the atmosphere of your feelings, which point to what's going on in your thought world, and to be able to choose higher feeling thoughts. The moment that you feel yourself going down the rabbit hole of negative emotion, right? Being willing to choose a higher feeling thought. That's the essence of it. Are you willing to commit to that? I know I am. So the daily disruption of our lives from this pandemic, I know has been a calling for us, a calling to re-see and revision the world and our part in it. We have a very vital part to play. Please do not ever diminish the part that you play in this, in the well-being of this planet, because it's a really big part, because we know who we are, and we know the power of the word, and we know the power of visioning. The decade of the 2020s is a critical turning point in all major issues that face this planet. We know this. Lynn Twist calls the 21st century the Sophia century, a time when women will step into their rightful role in co-equal partnership with men to bring the world into a new era of balance, peace, and prosperity. We don't need to make something happen. Simply, we rest in the awareness that the vision being revealed is already complete. That's key. We understand it's already complete. We've caught the vision. So let us then honor Women's History Month by committing to transformation. That's our part in it. Whether we are a woman or a man, committing to transformation is being willing to release what doesn't serve and embracing new ways of showing up. When we become holders of God's grace unfolding in our lives, we become the instruments of the divine. We fulfill our individual and our collective purpose, which is to be the presence of love, co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for all of us. Namaste, my friends. And so it is.
So it is.
So I'm now passing this back to my dear friend, Deb Chamberlain.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Kathleen. Wow. Put this on speaker view so I can see everyone. I mean, gallery view. Gallery. Oh, 25 years ago, right now, I was in my 31st hour of labor with only 12 more hours left to go. So that was quite an amazing thing. And amazing things take commitment. They're not always easy. But like the message Reverend Kathleen just gave us, it's so worth it. So here's a song, and I hope that you will keep doing amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, and you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings, and you will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you are out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. We will do amazing things. I will do amazing things. Thank you so much. I'd like to bring on our amazing Christy.
Thank you, Deb. Good morning, everyone. Each week, the Social Justice Initiative Ministry shares a practice from the Association of Global New Thought for cultivating a nonviolent mindset. This week's focus is on choice. Be aware of any jokes or remarks that show disrespect toward ethnic groups, women or men, classes or people, religious groups, and gay or lesbians. Be considerate of every person's dignity and make a choice not to participate in disrespectful conversations. Together, we are learning to practice nonviolence one step at a time, one choice at a time, one day at a time. Through our daily nonviolent choices and actions, each of us, in our own way, move the world in the direction of peace. And I will pass it over to Tom.
Thank you very much, Christy. If you received inspiration today, then now is the time to give thanks and generously give to the good work of CSL Delaware. Imagine your intended offering in your hands and then place your hands over your heart and say with me our offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies this offering. The Spirit gives abundantly, I receive thankfully, and give again generously. This is the bounty of God, and I send it forth with wisdom and joy. Divine love bountifully supplies and increases this offering. I give freely and fearlessly, fulfilling the law of giving and receiving. You may send your offerings by PayPal or check on our website homepage by clicking the link in the chat. Thank you. Want to make a difference? Donate to the CSL Delaware Benevolence Fund for those in need. Simply mark it as Benevolent Fund, and to receive financial support, contact a Board of Trustees member. Type prayer in the chat if you desire after service prayer with Reverend Linda in a breakout room today. You can also send your prayer request by phone or email to Peggy Fry Moyer, and their practitioners will pray for you for 1 week. And now I'd like to bring back our lovely Deb, who's going to sing our abundance prayer.
Thank you, Tom. Tom. It's been a while since we've done our Irish drinking song, so I thought it was time to bring it back since we had St. Patty's Day this month. Looks like my plant has had a little nip of it this morning over here, kind of lopsided. Let's all sing this together. May God's spark within shine its light. May the flame of love burn so bright that the whole world can see our true reality is the awesome abundance of life. I know a place that's quiet, where stillness fills the air, where darkness disappears into the light that's everywhere. I go there in the morning and linger through the day. It gives me everything I need to soothe me as I pray. May God's spark within shine its light. May the flame of love burn so bright that the whole world can see our true reality is the awesome abundance of life. Whenever there's a moment of pain, despair, or doubt, I know that I can go within so I may flow without. And in that sweet surrender, I open up my heart to all the good that waits for me that this world can impart. May God's spark within shine its light. May the flame of love burn so bright that the whole world can see our true reality is the awesome abundance of life. The peaceful abundance, the promised abundance, the perfect abundance of light. Awakened abundance, amazing abundance, astounding abundance of light. As God's spark within shines its light, may the flame of love burn so bright that the whole world can see our true reality is the awesome abundance of life. Yes, the whole world will see our true reality is the awesome abundance of life. The awesome abundance of life. Yay. Thank you so much. I want to bring back our beloved Reverend Kathleen.
I love that song. Thank you. Thank you so much. And amazing things. Oh my goodness. That was such a perfect song for today too. So my dear friends, let's conclude this service with a proclamation of who we are in truth. So repeat after me. Perfect God within me.
Perfect God within me.
Perfect life within me, which is God.
Perfect life within me, which is God.
Come forth into expression through me.
Come forth into expression through me.
As that which I am.
As that which I am.
Lead me ever on the path of all-inclusive love.
Lead me ever on the path of all-inclusive love.
And cause me to see.
Cause me to see
the infinite good.
the infinite good.
Yes, that's that field of all possibility and all potentiality, my friends. So let's accept that in our hearts, in our minds, by saying together, yes, and so it is. Hallelujah. All right, so let's get on with our lives. And I'm going to invite anybody who's new today to stay after, and any of the rest of us who would like to meet some of our newer people and just connect with each other for a short time after service. So Michelle, would you take care of the details there and get us all into gallery view?
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to just switch us over here. You now have the opportunity to unmute yourself. So
And I have.
love for you to
Hello,
do
good
so.
morning.
There we go. Let me get us all into gallery view.
See everybody.
Yay.
Hi, Nicole. And Rose, we've seen you here so many times, but we'd love to meet you. Hi, Rose. Hi,
Rose is my friend for like
Unmute.
30, or maybe 25, 30 years.
Roses?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm like in my Sunday morning, not really bad hair day mood.
That's okay.
But I will meet you. I will be coming in person one Sunday. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
All right, very
Neither have
good.
we.
Well, we've seen you here so
Michelle,
much, Rose.
recording.
Voice. Oh, we're just recording away here. Sorry.
I'll give a brief hello.